Very good afternoon to one and all. Myself, I am Mix Vijayaraja Mallika. Mix Vijayaraja Mallika in the sense I'm not a Mr., I'm not a Miss. My salutation always stands as mix. That is, I'm neither a male nor a female. And for the past 31 years, I have been suffering or I have been struggling as a transgender. Today, I take this great opportunity to be a part of this program because this was one of the awaited session for me to come to QSAT. As I was a student of ISTD Kochi Social Sciences years back, I always had a dream to be a part of this great college. Anyway, just going back as what a transgender is, I would just always love to share that please avoid the usages like ladies and gentlemen because we too exist in the society. We too exist in the sense like in Kerala, as per the policy, as per the policy of 2014 and as per the survey which has been conducted in the same year, we have a golden figure of 25,000 transgenders living in the state of Kerala. We have 25,000 transgenders living in the state of Kerala. And this is only the survey which has been conducted with male to female transgenders. And yet more, we have intersex, we have female to male transgenders and people who are born with gender non-conformity. As far as I am concerned, I am not a complete man, neither a complete woman. In the sense like I was born with Sertoli cells only syndrome. I never had a Leydig cell which was supposed to have for a man in his sexual orientation and developing his gender identity. For 12 years, I was been struggling in my school days as I was one of the greatest icon of verbal abuses inside the campus and inside the school. But I had a great determination because I always thought that for the 30 years, God was trying to experiment me. But later on, I could understand that this is His plan to make me like this, to make me a part of the society which is growing for the social and the holistic development. As a transgender, to be frank, I'm so much proud that I'm born in between a male and a female. And if I get another birth, I would always like to be born as, again as a transgender. And that is my life. Coming to poetry, I was writing since the age of 12, but those time, as the society was always into the two parameters of male and female, my ideas or my notions never had any kinds of spaces in the society or inside the schools. I used to write and I used to keep my poems as a bundle. Later on, at the age of 31, when I told the world that I'm a transgender, my poems started to be released. Now, 21 poems have published in almost all the contemporary Malayalam magazines, and I'm also a part of the social media online magazines. I write in Hindi, English, and Malayalam, and sometimes when I feel so much romantic, I write in Tamil. And regarding Sahaj International, this was one of my greatest dreams to open an alternate learning center which should be later developed as a transgender school. I don't believe in exclusive education where transgenders have been put apart and given education. But you know that we exist in the society, but a transgender who comes out of the parameters and tell the world that Z is a transgender, I use the word Z because Z is one of the salutations which has been used for us. It is mix and Z, which has been adopted by the Oxford University to call us or to address us transgenders. Sahaj today stands as a unique organization which works on the inclusive technique of social work to promote alternate learning education for the transgenders who have been dropped out from the education. Madam, this is not a school yet. We are on the process, and the process will be completing only after 1.5 years. But I can always promise you that we can at least mold 10 to 15 transgenders who will become model for the society. And around 90 to 95% of transgenders in India are into sex work. Don't think that we promote flesh trade or sex work. But you should understand one thing, why transgenders are into sex work. Because sex work or flesh trade provides a kind of space for the people who doesn't have any kind of recognition inside their homes. Even the parents doesn't give a space for the transgenders inside the families. You may ask why. See, the society still lives in the parameters of male and female, and any other kind of gender expressions is not been encouraged in the state or in the country. Even the politicians doesn't know what a transgender is. You might see transgenders like Hijra, Kinnara or Mangalamurthy's our train, or would have traveled across the state of Kerala to Bombay or to even the parts of Northeast. You would have seen a few other more kind of religious organizations or religious communities of transgenders begging, doing sex work and trafficking on the streets. My request to you is, please, if you're a woman or if you're a man, don't take this as a privilege that you are born as a man and you lived as a man, because God created everyone equally. Just going back to Bible, you can just refer to the eunuchs. In Quran, there is a reference of Kunsas, and also in Mahabharata, there is a reference of Shigandi, who has always been stood as a great person to bring judgment for a great war. But you know what happens to us? The youngsters, and the life of the Shigandi is been suffered by we eunuchs in the society in the form of verbal abuses, sexual abuses, and mental stresses. Today, I stand here proudly because as mixed Vijayaraja Mallika, I've been struggling all through my life to establish myself as a transgender. You know, today I have around 6 to 7 diseases, which is always killing myself. At the age of 16, a small biopsy was done on my body to find what is actually happening in me. It was found that I had a Sertoli-Sertoli syndrome, which was completely denied by another school of doctors, and healthy and wealthy injections were being put onto my body to make me a complete male. That is injecting testosterone hormone. After a few months, what happened is like my mental stability started to lose, and I was taken to mental hospital because I was told that I was suffering from mental diseases. It was around 5 to 6 years that I was being treated as a hormone therapy and also for mental disorders. After that, the doctors came to a conclusion that you have a normal hormone, but your orientation is still homosexual. My dear friends, I never felt that I was homosexual, but I always felt like a woman who has been trapped inside a man's body. I fought. Finally, what happened? My both of the knees started to, completely disintegrate with osteoarthritis, which was later found to be rheumatic arthritis, which later led to fatty liver syndrome and also diabetes. Today, I have protein flow in my urine, and I have, continuous fevers, and still I fight with 12 to 13 capsules every day. You know why? I would have committed suicide, but I never did that because I know that this is a specific plan to be like this, to be different, and to be a part of the society where men and women live. I just want to add one more thing, just to make you remember that don't be so much privileged to be a man and a woman. There is a transgender in every societies, and there exist around 6 to 7 LGBT people in every institution. You know what is LGBT? That is lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer community. And you may ask, why transgenders are not supposed to get married? I am transgender who was supposed to, or who had married a woman, but later on, what happened? I never could constitute the marriage relationship, because I never felt sexual orientation for a woman. I always felt only for a man. You know, there are corrective rapes which is happening in the society to correct their children, to make them straight, either to fall into the parameters or to the spectrum of just women and men. But there do exist other kind of genders. There are people without sexual orientations. They are called as asexual people. There are people who are born with both sexes. They are called as intersex people. In every medical college in Kerala, we have at least 2 to 3 births happening like that. And also in the super specialty hospitals in Kerala, we have around 3 to 5 cases which have been born intersex. There are 3 sexes, that is male, female, and intersex. And there are only 2 genders, that is male and female. I don't believe in telling like there is a third gender, because we all doesn't fall into the third gender, as we don't believe in that. But there are 3 sexes. There are 3 sexes. There are 3 sexes, male, female, and intersex. But I am not an intersex. I am neither a male nor a female. I am born as a gender non-confined without Leydig cell inside my male, which could create some kind of sexual orientation. And coming to the schools, my dear friends, I think you are, most of them are trainers and teachers. Please try to accept students who are indifferent. Because as a student, I have suffered all the 12 years, and I was just put into the verbal abuses and harassments. We have friends who have been raped, who have been sexually molested, who have been abused by their own teachers, by their friends, and also by their trainers. In India, we have an organization, or we have an institution called Nirmala Niketan College, that is in Bombay. And Nirmala Niketan College is the first college to have a gender, a third gender toilet. You know why? Daniel learned in the college, and Daniel is a person who was born intersex with both male and female organs. Z is supposed to conduct surgery before the age of 35, because if the person doesn't do the surgery, he might die off. And he is a boy, he is a well-built boy with menses and, the tables which have, the periods which have started at the age of 12. And for the past 10 years, he has periods which is going on. And he was born with both sexes. There are people like that. So, once again just to conclude, I just want to make a point that please provide your spaces for those people who are not male and female. And please try to accept them. Please try to accept as they are. Every child, when you are inside the womb, your gender has not been specified. Sometimes it might come out as a boy, but later on it might become a girl. And that is a part of nature. Transgenders exist in mammals, fishes, birds, animals, and trees. But the difference between those and human beings are that we human beings are bounded into societies and we have minds to think. Thank you.